You thought it was done? You thought it was finished? You thought it was all sewn up? Oh, no. This is the Premier League. With Manchester United dropping more points against Brighton and Hove Albion, the race for the top four is wide open. Today, we're going to be going through the candidates and trying to decide who will be taking those all-important places. Please like the video and subscribe, it really would mean a lot to me. But now, let's talk the Premier League's race for the top four. Here are the candidates for the top four in my opinion. You've got these four teams: Newcastle, Man United, Liverpool and Brighton. I haven't included Tottenham Hotspur in this because I just don't think they have the games to be able to turn it around. They've got 4 matches left and they're already 5 points behind Liverpool, so I just don't think that it's going to be possible. As for the rest of them, they all have a chance of getting into those spaces. So, without further ado, let's take a look at them. Up first, let's have a look at Brighton. It's no secret on this channel that I believe Brighton are a fantastic footballing side. I really enjoyed what they were doing with Graham Potter. I thought he did such a good job of getting them to play football at such an astute level. And with De Zerbi coming in, he's almost weaponized what Graham Potter was able to do with these Brighton players. And when you look at their fixtures, or the amount of fixtures they have left, you're starting to think, hold on, Brighton might be able to do something here. They're only 4 points off Liverpool, and if they win their games in hand to go level on games with Liverpool, they go above them. And then you're starting to believe. My problem with this, and I just err on the side of caution, is with the fixtures and the timing of the fixtures, not to mention the calibre of our opponent that they still have to face. So, for example, their next game is against Everton. In those 10 days following that, they play Newcastle, and in between they play Arsenal. If you're expecting them to win those games, which they would need to do to be able to put themselves in with a shout of Champions League football, then I just think that's a bit much, and the pressure might start to get to this small, tight-knit squad. Then you've got the likes of Man City later down the line, and I just feel like it might be a bit too much. That being said, if you'd have told Brighton that they were getting any kind of European football before the season started, I'm sure they would have absolutely bitten your hand off. And Europa League is very much on the table. I just think the push for Champions League might be a bit much, but never say never. Up next, let's talk Newcastle. They have been sensational this year, haven't they? I mean, look at where they are on the table, 3rd, and they're on there by merit. 18 games won, only 4 lost. I will repeat that. Newcastle have only lost 4 matches this season. They've scored 61 goals and only conceded 27. They are phenomenal. And for me, I think they have Champions League football. I look at these fixtures and I look at the fact that they have a game in hand over Liverpool, which means they can drop points, not to mention they're already 7 points clear. I think this is theirs. They still have to play Brighton, yes. They still have to play the likes of Arsenal, yes. But a lot of the other games are winnable, and I think they have enough of a cushion to really take them forwards. Newcastle fans, I would start to get excited if I were you, because I don't see teams catching you. I think you're going to be taking yourselves to the next level, and Champions League football, for me, for you, awaits. This is where it gets interesting. Let's talk Manchester United. When you look at the table, there is an odd one out here. There is a outlier. There is a team that looks on paper like it shouldn't be there, and if I'm completely honest, that is Manchester United. When you see the amount of goals they've scored, it is dwarfed in comparison to the rest of the teams. When you see the amount of goals that they concede, it seems the same, which means that generally on goal difference, they are absolutely blown out the water by the likes of Brighton, Liverpool and Newcastle. And you could point that towards the likes of Wout Weghorst starting for them. But we need to look at the facts. We need to analyse and see how they might be winning games. And at the moment, I've got to tell you that I'm looking at these fixtures and I'm not really seeing too many wins. West Ham will be fighting for their lives, as well as making sure that they can finish as high up as possible. Wolverhampton Wanderers might not be fully safe yet, which means that a full-on brutal performance is going to be necessary. Bournemouth have won 4 out of their last 5 at the time of recording, and Chelsea will be looking to scrape a win from anywhere, not to mention the ride that Fulham have been on. My point is that every single game counts, and at the moment, with Manchester United's squad limitations, with the amount of games that they have played and their lack of offensive capability, I do see them dropping more points than the rest of their competitors, which means that the likelihood for Manchester United to be getting top 4, even though they have a game in hand on Liverpool, seems unlikely. Finally, let's turn our attention to Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp and his men have had an absolutely torrid time this season, haven't they? They've really gone through the mill. When you think about their defensive frailties, their need to improve in midfield, and the fact that some of their players just couldn't seem to get fit. However, it all seems to have turned around. Luis Diaz is now back in the side. Diogo Jota is now back in the side. And Liverpool have won 5 out of their last 5 games. They're finding form when they need it most. And that is what all the great teams do. Jurgen Klopp is spurring his men on to try and get that 4th place position. And Manchester United are dropping points. Liverpool are like a shark in the water, waiting for United to dip that little bit lower into the ocean to wait to take them out. And what's more is if you have a look at the fixtures on your right hand side, Brentford, Leicester, Aston Villa and Southampton, they all appear to be winnable games. And with the form that Liverpool are in, with Trent Alexander-Arnold going into midfield and having that ability to really dictate from that position while also keeping Liverpool sturdy and strong at the back, it seems like Liverpool are on the charge. And that is a scary thing indeed. We've now been through the candidates and it's time to predict who will be taking those Champions League spaces. Who will come out on top, or 3rd and 4th, I suppose. In one of those cases, it will be Newcastle United, in my opinion. I think they've done enough to secure themselves Champions League football. I think they've done enough to secure themselves 3rd, if I'm completely honest with you. I don't see them dropping too many points towards the end of the season, and Eddie Howe won't let his players let up one jot. They have put so much into the season, and they are going to get the rewards. Champions League football will be on its way to St James's Park, and it's going to be fantastic for them. To be honest with you, Newcastle do scare me a little, especially with their following, with their fans. They are absolutely electric at St James's Park, and with their investment, with their money and spending power, considering the fact that they're now going to be in the Champions League, it's not going to be too long before Newcastle seriously, and I do mean seriously, become a proper European powerhouse. But it all starts with Champions League, and for me, they've got it. That leaves one final position, and it goes to Liverpool, in my opinion. You can't bet against them. You cannot bet against Jurgen Klopp. 5 wins on the bounce, and I don't see them stopping anytime soon. They found a rhythm finally. They finally found a winning formula, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. I really do think they're going to charge, and more importantly, I also think that Manchester United are going to drop some points along the way. I think they'll feel the breath of Liverpool on their backs and just waver. I don't think that Manchester United group has enough of a mental capability to be able to see them over the line. And although I do believe that Erik ten Hag has done a fantastic job, there are far too many players in that Manchester United squad that have the capabilities to waver and have the capabilities to hesitate. And it's that hesitation that's going to cost them in the end. I have Liverpool charging on and taking that final Champions League spot. Thank you ever so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave the video with a like and subscribe if you haven't to more content like this coming very soon. Make sure you hit that notification bell as well. You don't want to miss what's coming up in the near future. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on who you believe is winning the top 4 race. Let me know who it is and why. I would love to hear from you, so please do get in touch. But that's it from me for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, my friends, take care of yourselves and bye-bye.